We are wrapping up a bus conversion on our 2015 Ford shuttle bus. It's coming out good, but we got one more job we want to work on, and that is ventilation. We want to put a ventilation system in because it's warm in here. We can't always have the bus running, let's just say that. So we can't always have the AC. We want to have some fresh air coming in, especially while we sleep, because our windows don't have screens. I really looked at ways to put screens in, but I really couldn't find a good way without making it look ugly. So we said we need to find a way to have fresh air coming in so we're not all sleeping and breathing, 4 people in a little bus.
And it's good to bring in oxygen
and expel the excess moisture so you don't have mold issues. So, ventilation system is today. After looking at all kinds of fans online, a lot of people, everybody uses those ceiling fans that you stick in your roof. Usually like a big 14-inch fan or something, big thing. And that's really all I've been seeing is big fans that go in your ceiling. And I didn't want to cut a hole in our ceiling. We have a nice ceiling. Not just the ceiling, the roof. I don't want any leaks. I don't want any holes in our roof. Especially huge holes. That scares me. So I said, there has to be another way. And I looked around. I did find 2 wall-mounted fans for RVs, but they wouldn't really work for our situation. So as usual, I set off to design my own system. We're going to start from scratch, do it our way, a little bit different from the ground up. So let's go outside and I'll show you guys everything I bought to put the system together, and then we'll try to build it and hopefully it works. So in the system that I'm going to try to design here is basically going to be 2 vents. One to allow fresh air in and another one to exhale the stale air. So for the intake and the exhaust, I picked up these hoods. These are pretty cool. They're stainless steel. I love the weather protective shroud over it so that things can't blast into it because we're going to be driving down the road. But it also has a built-in mesh screen so that bugs can't get in. That's really important, that mosquitoes and flies can't just come in. So I got 2 of these. So this is a 4-inch flexible duct. We're going to be actually ducting to our fan. It's a very short duct, but it's going to be a duct nonetheless. Now for the fan, I looked for a long time trying to find the right one that was going to be a really low draw. And what that led me to is like computer fans, PC fans, because they're made for continuous use, they're very quiet, and low draw. I found one, which is right here, and I already mounted it to a decorative faceplate. So that's going to be my fan. It pulls 3.6 watts, so very low, 12 volts, very low pull. So to hook this 120 millimeter PC fan to the ducting, I searched around until I found this little shroud. I don't know what it's really called, but basically it's a cover that will screw right to the holes on the fan and convert it to use a 4-inch duct. My idea is this blowing out the duct outside. Now, just in case that fan is pulling too much air, or we want to adjust it, I actually did pick up a little speed controller. This thing is tiny, but this is actually basically plug and play. We'll just plug the fan right into it, and we can adjust how fast or slow it spins. So it's a pretty simple system. It should work. It's going to do the job of just keeping fresh air flowing while we sleep. So anyway, that's the goods. So let's get them installed and see how it works. So I could have put the fan over here, but I want to save that for something else. And we didn't have many good options here until I looked inside the fuse box. And you can see I already cut a hole because I was excited and I said that's where the fan's going. We're going to be mounting the fan in here and exhausting it outside. Now, the reason we're doing that is because, look, it already has a vent on here, so it can easily let air flow through there. I probably can't show you very well, but there's a ton of space back here behind the fuse box, so it's going to be perfect to run the duct outside. And that space is right there. So I'm going to put the vent right underneath this spot. This doesn't have to be straight or I'd use my chop saw. Good enough. Since we only have about an 1/8 inch of fiberglass, I'm going to be backing it with this piece of plywood so that when I screw through the fiberglass, the screws grab the wood and it'll hold that really firm. How do we get it in there now? So now is the tricky part because you might actually have to go on the inside, Ash, to hold this wood still.
Okay.
So that I can puncture it. So just try to keep that still, okay? Alright, that's progress. We got the hole and the hood mounted on the outside. Here is the duct I'm using. So weird. Alright, we got the ductwork run. You can see the light coming in from outside. And now for the fan. Just wanted to show you guys quick that I put the duct converter, duct adapter on the fan right there. Just screwed it on with some fan screws. It's hard to see in this black cave, but I'm just going to be doing the wiring, trying to figure out where I want this little fan controller to go. Remember, we got the speed controller here, and I'm going to mount it inside here somewhere, so I'll get it wired up, and I'll show you guys what I did. I'm going to share this really quickly. I don't think it's going to matter to anybody out there, but I'm going to show you. I got this 4-wire fan plug, fan cord. I'm going to be using that as just an inexpensive cable that I can cut and splice, you know, to power the fan. I actually only need 2 of them. It's going to be the red and black on this cable. Typically, it'd be like a yellow cable for a lot of fans. It'd be yellow. Down here it's yellow. You probably can't see it, but it's yellow. But red and black, that's 12 volt. These other 2 wires, they just go to the motherboard in the computer to tell the motherboard how fast this fan is spinning, so you can have your RPM gauge, and also to help regulate the speed. Alright guys, I got the fan installed. I'll try to give you some light here. And looking good. Little plastic hanging down, but it's right inside there next to the fuse box. Not going to hurt anything. I mounted the speed controller right there. This box happened to have 2 holes in it. I didn't make those holes, they were there, so I used them. And I just double sticky taped it up to the ceiling. Now let's go back here and wire it up at the switch end. You might be able to see this switch right here. I had this spare switch, and you can see I already put a little fan sticker on it. That's going to be our fan control. And I already wired it up. I'm pretty excited to try this out. Let's see what it does. It's going slow. Let me turn the speed. That's on high. So that's like maximum.
That's doable. It's not too loud.
Actually, it has a pretty good flow. I can feel it blowing right out. I'm about to drill the second hole, which is the intake. Don't forget, we want air to come in. We want it to come in through the back. So I'm going to actually drill a hole in our shed here. Out the back of the bus, the air is going to come in, and it's just going to pass through this hole, through the AC unit, into the bus. It'll make a nice little air path. I hope. That's the hope. I'm making such a big mess in here. It's going to be a pain to clean this all up with the water tanks in the way. Good enough. Gives me enough room to carry on. Oh, I'm heating it up good.
Maybe you should do it from this side now.
Let me let this cool down for a minute. I'm like really struggling with this hole, so I'm going to throw some lubricant on it, and we'll see If that helps at all, getting the blade not to overheat.
That was a chore, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't expect that.
Now we can screw it. We just need the screws and the screwdriver. I hope these are stainless steel screws. We'll see. We'll see how that works. The ventilation system is complete, and we've been testing it out for some time now to give it a really good try and see how it was performing. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. We left the fan running for a couple days straight on the batteries alone without running the vehicle, and after 2 days straight of running nonstop, it had barely touched the battery voltage, because I have a voltmeter in there that I can see how the battery voltage is looking. So we can run it for days and days and days and never worry about it killing the battery accidentally. That's awesome. Now the fan we bought is rated at about 110 cubic feet per minute airflow, which is pretty good. 110 CFM is more than our bathroom fan, I think.
Wow.
So I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's what it's rated at. And it does push a lot of air. That being said, if the bus is sitting in the sun, it's not going to keep it cool inside. It's still going to heat up because it's a lot of heat. You know, vehicles get hot. But it definitely does do a good job of keeping that heat from getting excessive. So it is working, and it's relatively quiet. It's rated at max speed. It's 43.5 decibels, so not too loud. And if you turn it down a little bit, it gets quieter and quieter. I think everything we wanted is in that fan. It's quiet, it's efficient, it does its job. We like it.
And it'll be especially nice at night while we're sleeping to bring in fresh air and let out extra moisture.
And that's one of the reasons we wanted it to be kind of efficient, so we could run it all night quietly and just bring in, it's not like a cooling fan, it's more of a
fresh air fan.
Yeah. And one more thing I want to touch on before we go is the intake vent that we installed on the back of the bus. I don't think I explained that thoroughly enough, where the whole idea is it's just a hole for air to come into, so that if the bus is all closed up and all the doors are shut, that the fan has some place to draw from to blow out. And the reason I put it in the shed part of the bus is because it was the only spot that was really out of the way. And in the top corner of the shed area, there's actually a big square cut out for the AC, because I wanted access to the air conditioner from that side. So the air can freely flow
around that.
Yeah, right into there and all around into the bus. So I think it gives a good cross flow. That's what we wanted. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know it's working. It doesn't kill the battery and doing its job, so we're happy with it. It's a success, and so far so good. So I hope you enjoyed the video. A little quick update about the bus conversion. It's like these are the little jobs that are the last of the thing. So we should have like a big reveal coming soon. Might have another video or two, some little last minute jobs, but we'll see what we can get done. So thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
Bye.